Introduced species, the controversy surrounding brumby population control and aerial culling. When the first settlers arrived in Australia, they brought with them several horses. These horses were the ancestors of the wild horses that roam free today in the Australian wilderness. There are two major controversial sustainability issues that surround brumby population control and aerial culling. The first issue arises from the land degradation and water contamination that brumbies are said to be causing, as well as the diseases they carry. The second being the unsustainable environment that culling causes for the area targeted and the brumby population, as well as the role brumbies played in Australian heritage and the animals' welfare. In October 2000, a 3-day aerial shooting took place in Guy Fawkes National Park, New South Wales, killing over 600 horses. This started a public outrage so negative that the New South Wales government banned aerial shooting of brumbies for 13 years. With the 13 years coming to a close this year, in 2013, rumours are circling that aerial culling may be resumed as part of the Kosciuszko National Park Force Management Plan. The author Chloe Booker depicts one of the controversial sides in an article Kieran's Fight to Save the Brumbies by detailing horseman Kieran Davidson's fight to take aerial culling off the options list for population control in the Snowy Mountains. Davidson suggests that mustering should be used as is a more humane and effective way of population control than aerial culling and trapping. The issues that arise on both sides of the controversial debate come under three areas: society, environment, and economy. The societal issues against aerial culling of brumbies are that aerial culling is viewed to be barbaric by society. Not all brumbies are immediately killed and suffer for days until they die. Many organisations such as the Australian Brumby Alliance have formed to petition to the government the disgrace that aerial culling is to animal welfare. There is an ongoing petition to the government to rule out aerial culling and predominantly use more humane methods to control the population, such as trapping, removal, mustering and rehoming, to ensure a sustainable future for the Australian brumby population. It is also debated that brumbies are a national icon with cultural significance that play a significant role in Australian tourism, especially in the Australian Alps. The societal issues that arise for the side of aerial culling of brumbies are: brumbies contaminate and collapse the walls of water bodies that communities and local farmers use as drinking water and for livestock. Societal issues of the side for aerial culling of brumbies also flows into environmental issues due to the significant society places on the Australian landscape, flora and fauna. Before the first settlers arrived in Australia, there were no hooved animals, thus the continent did not evolve in association with the impacts of the brumbies. Brumbies are a major cause of soil compaction and erosion of the Australian landscape, creating trails and leaving soil bare with no protection from the elements. Brumbies also impact on the native ecology of the area they inhabit due to their selective grazing habits. Brumbies only consume the pastures that are palatable and leaving plants such as weeds, which thus they increase in abundance, and leaving other animals such as kangaroos with limited palatable pasture. Brumbies collapse stream beds, damage wetlands and remote watering holes. This impacts on native species of the area, especially in times of drought, which have been recorded to go locally extinct due to lack of water. Environmentalists stress the need for brumby population control, as in 2010 it was claimed that the brumby population had risen by 224% over the past 6 years. Environmental issues that arise on the side against aerial culling are: it is known after aerial culling that brumbies' bodies are left to rot, increasing the number of predators such as wild dogs to an area and causing a disruption in the ecology. Killing of brumby carcasses has also been recorded to cause pollution to the surrounding water bodies, impacting other wildlife of the area as well as humans who consume it and use it for farming purposes. The United Animal Nation has encouraged countries to preserve their native horse populations for sustainable future of domestic horses, whom will at some point in the near future need to be bred back to the native horses to redevelop strength and endurance, which is lacking in domestic horse industry due to the high amounts of inbreeding. The economic issues that arise on the side against aerial culling of brumbies are: the rotting of brumby carcasses increase predators to an area, which may also impact the local livestock. Economic issues that arise on the side for aerial culling of brumbies are: brumbies diminish pastures used for livestock, erode land and waterbeds used for farming, destroy fences and transfer parasites and diseases such as equine influenza and tick fever to domestic animals. These impacts leave farmers with significant costs and profit losses. Aerial culling has been proven to decrease the brumby population in the most cost-effective and non-time-consuming way. Thus, it is the most popular method of population control, with trapping and rehoming controlling only a proportional amount that aerial culling can in the same amount of time. Both sides lack credibility due to their lack of scientific evidence and studies published to support their arguments. Although the side for aerial culling proves to have more evidence, this may be due to the high amounts of biased sources without credible evidence. Similar debate is occurring in America in regards to the population control and aerial culling of mustangs. Mustangs are protected by the US government, but permits are available to be bought to give a person permission to shoot mustangs only on public lands. There are approximately 17,500 permits issued, most of these whom belong to farmers who graze their stock on public lands. The American government's point of view differs from that of the Australian government's view on brumbies, as the American government is working to conserve the majority of the population of their wild horses, whereas the Australian government is more biased towards the economic issues that surround the impacts of the brumbies and not their cultural significance. There is an ongoing debate in the USA between farmers and the government in regards to the strict aerial culling laws, due to their farmland degradation that mustangs cause similar to brumbies. There is also a debate between the government and those whom are against aerial culling, due to lack of land patrol, thus the mustangs are being illegally and inhumanely hunted on unpatrolled land. It is also recorded that the mustang slaughter levels in the USA have gone down, but nowadays mustangs are shipped to Mexico to be slaughtered. It is said that the mustang population could be extinct by the end of the century if an intervention doesn't occur. In the course of studying the sustainability issues that brumbies cause and their population control by aerial culling, I have formed an opinion that all aerial shooting of these wild horses should be banned, due to its inhumane nature. I also believe the Australian government should get more involved, like the American government, to ensure the brumbies are protected and not being illegally culled.